Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Bible study for everyone. Today is day number 3, and so we are in Mark chapter 3. It starts with Jesus being questioned by the Pharisees. They're trying to accuse him for healing on the Sabbath. And so, what does Jesus do? Of course, he just doesn't heal on the Sabbath, right? No. He heals a man with a withered hand on the Sabbath, regardless of what the Pharisees are trying to do. And so, because of this, it actually says that they plot to destroy him. The chapter then moves on with Jesus being followed by huge crowds. And eventually, the crowds become so large that Jesus escapes away into the mountains. And this is where he actually brings the 12 apostles that he chose and that we see throughout the Gospels. And so these are the people that were the closest to Jesus and got taught by him throughout his 3-year ministry. And then the chapter finishes with Jesus being questioned about the things that he's been doing. And they're trying to say that he is related to Satan. And Jesus quickly rebuttals this. And what I love is what Jesus says in verse 24. He says, "If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand." And so Jesus' point is, if I was related to Satan and I would be casting out demons that are related to Satan, then our kingdom wouldn't be able to stand. And that is not true. So I am the Son of God. I am not related to Satan, and I'm here to forgive people. The word of the day is forgiven. And Jesus says it very clearly in verse 28. He says, "Truly I say to you, all sins will be forgiven the children of man, and whatever blasphemies they utter." And so I want you all to remember this today, that we are forgiven by God. God has transformed us. Jesus came to forgive us. And something that my pastor has been saying in church recently that I've really loved is that Jesus didn't just come to forgive us. Jesus came to make dead people alive. And so what does he mean by this? He means we're sinners. We were destined for death. But Jesus came. He took our place on that cross. He forgives us so that we can be made alive and live in eternity with him. And so I hope that you realize how important this is and how much this can transform your life. The other thing is what follows verse 28. In verse 29, Jesus talks about the one sin that won't be forgiven, and that's the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. That's basically not accepting that what Jesus is sharing is true and that the Holy Spirit resides in us and is part of that Trinity. So just a reminder, the Holy Spirit is part of the Trinity. The Trinity is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and they're all one. And so when we accept Jesus, the Holy Spirit comes into our hearts and resides in us. So that means we literally have God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit residing in us. Like those are all one. And so that's what leads us. That's what makes us new. That's what makes us alive. And that's what makes us forgiven. And so today, I just want you guys to remember this. It's something that as Christians, we hear a lot, but sometimes we can become numb to it. We are saved, we are forgiven, we are made alive because of Jesus, and that Holy Spirit resides in us. And so remember that today, and we'll talk next time. See you guys.